Hi, I'm Zahra. I'm a medical doctor and an entrepreneur, and I've spent the last 8 months reading as many books around wealth as possible. I realized it was pretty much a goal in my life that I was failing to admit that I wanted, and after doing that, I maybe became slightly obsessed with it. I think I've read over 30 books since May, specifically around wealth building, mindset, and 5 of the books that I found were actually incredibly useful, and I wanted to be able to share them with you. This is definitely not an extensive list. I've definitely read many more than this, but I would say that these are probably 5 really good books to start, and they were just incredibly easy reads, and they were packed with tons of information. And so you probably ask me, why does it actually matter? What is it about execution? So I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and he was telling me that he wanted to start a business, and he has this amazing idea. And so I said that, okay, well, that's great. Have you started? And he said, no, I'm too scared. I haven't started yet. I don't know where to start. I wanted to just break it down for him in the most simplest way possible that I understood it. And I said that in order to start a business, you basically need to have a target audience of people that you actually want to serve, a problem they need help solving, a solution to their problem, and would they be willing to pay you for it? And I told him if you could solve for those 4 things, you could probably start a business. But the idea was to go and talk to people, and so you would actually know that that is what they're wanting. And so I said that ideas can live on forever, but until you execute on your idea, you'll never know what works and what doesn't. And so these 5 books were probably ones that I would recommend for anyone wanting to start a business or want to engage with wealth or being able to figure out how to build wealth. And so the first one is called Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. It's an excellent book. And the key takeaway from it was that he talks about there are 3 types of people that exist. People who live on the sidewalk, where life is more about instant gratification. They don't really have a financial roadmap or plan. 2 is the slow lane, and these are people who are determined that a job is what they want to have. They're getting all the degrees. They're going to have the 9-to-5 job. They're going to work in this job for 40 plus years until retirement. And ultimately, he feels that this is delayed freedom. And then the one that he advocates for is the fast lane. And so he argues there is a way to build wealth quickly. And by quickly, he means, within 5 to 10 years. And so that you can enjoy your wealth at a much younger age. The one thing that you'll always say is that wealth cannot come easily. It's impossible. It might be able to come quickly. And so really what it comes from is that, can you provide value? Do you have control over it? And are you able to scale it? Great book for anyone starting out, for anyone wanting to just change their mindset. The second book was called The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. Also an excellent book. I first came across this book in India when I was on a book buying binge, and I loved the way that he breaks it down. So he talks about wealth in 5 different ways. That there's time wealth, there's social wealth, there's mental wealth, there's health wealth, and of course there's financial wealth. And for him, the thing that he found is that most people, when they spoke about what they wanted most out of their life, especially later on in their years, was that it wasn't about money, it was about who they spent it with, how they spent their time. Did they have enough time? Did they do all of the things that they wanted to do with their life? Were they happy? And so I would argue that money just gives you access and freedom to do the things that actually are very fulfilling. And yes, it is definitely a component of it, but it is not everything. Number 3 was The $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. This is an excellent book. It's basically a playbook on how to start a business in 48 hours or less. It teaches you how to test ideas quickly, to know how to charge early. And then the last one is learning from rejection. So he has this one challenge in his book where it's basically coffee discount challenge. It's called something like that. He challenges you to walk into a coffee shop and to ask the barista for a discount. I have yet to do this challenge, I'm not going to lie to you, but he said there's something about being able to face rejection and know that you're not going to die from it. And so if you can go in, ask somebody for a discount, they're probably going to say no to you, probably give you a funny look, and you can walk away and know that you didn't die. It's probably a pretty good feeling. So I'm sure I'll give you an update when I decide to actually conquer the challenge. Excellent book for anyone wanting to start a business from 0 to a starting point to getting your first customer. Great book. Totally would recommend. Number 4 was called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I've definitely mentioned this book before. Biggest takeaway that I got from this book was basically how to understand wealth and how people who have it probably see it very differently. And so for the longest time, I always thought it was about looking wealthy and not actually being wealthy. And it was a failure of perception, and I totally recognize that now. But it also took a lot of learning along the way to figure that out. Basically, what he talks about is that the wealthy build assets. And ultimately, those assets, when you compound them enough, they can pay for your lifestyle, rather than buying into expenses and debt that make you look wealthy, but you ultimately still end up feeling poor. That was probably one of the biggest distinctions that I'd gotten out of that book, and probably one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. Excellent book, very easy read, and he just breaks it down from his experience. And number 5 was $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. If you haven't heard of Alex Hormozi, he is an excellent entrepreneur. He actually does have a YouTube channel as well, so you should probably check him out. And the book that he's written is around how to create value for your customers, but also being able to create offers that people feel stupid saying no to. And so his whole premise is that solve a real pain, help someone. Make sure that you're providing value to someone, because really the only way that you're going to build a successful business, something that has longevity, is that are you actually helping people? Are you actually serving? Are you doing something that's good? These were some amazing finds that I got in 2025. I would totally recommend them. If you're starting out and it feels a bit overwhelming to launch into 5 different books, then I would recommend reading Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco and The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. 2 excellent books, very easy reads, and if you have some time off in December, I would recommend you reading it. And if you're telling me, Zahra, I don't really have time to read, I'm just too busy, can't seem to find the time, then you'll really like my other video, which I will link here, which is basically how to read 1 book a week. Like I said, I've read over 30 this year, starting from around May, totally doable, and the video tells you exactly how I did it. And if you like this video and you'd like to see more, you can always subscribe to my channel.